Do you actually believe the calendar on your wall measures time, or does it measure the countdown to your own obsolescence? 2025 wasn't just another year. It was the holding pen. It was the final deep breath before the plunge. And if you think what you saw in the headlines this year was progress, you have fallen for the most sophisticated sleight of hand in human history. Look at this date stamped on this internal memo. I'm going to tell you exactly what this document says at the end of this video. But by the time I do, you'll understand why the normalcy you're clinging to is already dead. You are living in the final days of the Anthropocene. Welcome to the reckoning. They told you 2025 was the year of integration. That's the buzzword, right? We saw AI integrated into our operating systems, humanoid robots integrated into BMW factories, and digital IDs integrated into our wallets. The media, those mouthpieces for the corporate oligarchy, framed it as convenience. They sold you the idea that this tech is here to help you write emails and park your car. It's a beautiful lie, a sedative, because if you look at the raw data, 2025 wasn't about convenience, it was about infrastructure. You don't build a massive data center grid that consumes more electricity than the entire country of Argentina just to help high schoolers cheat on their essays. You build it to house a new intelligence that makes you redundant. This is where their facade cracks. In late 2025, a quiet report was released regarding the energy liquidity of the AI sector. It stated that major tech conglomerates are now purchasing nuclear capacity, not for the grid, but for private use. Why does a software company need a private nuclear reactor? Because they are building a breakaway civilization. They are decoupling from the public grid because they know what's coming in 2026 will crash the public systems. Stop listening to the noise. Listen to the silence. There is a term for what they have been building in the dark while you were arguing about politics on Twitter. The true term for this operation isn't the fourth industrial revolution. That's marketing. The term is the Silicon Curtain, a barrier between the enhanced and the legacy human. And 2025 was the year they finished building the wall. Let's look at the entity. In 2025, we saw the figure ZO2 and Tesla's Optimus Gen 3 achieve fine motor skills that rival a watchmaker. The mainstream narrative says, labor shortage solutions. Bullshit. There is no labor shortage. There is a wage shortage. They aren't building these things to fill empty jobs. They are building them to collapse the value of human labor to zero. In 2025, the cost of inference, the cost for an AI to think, dropped by a factor of 10. Again, when the cost of intelligence approaches zero, the value of the human mind approaches zero. 2025 was the year the equation balanced. 2026 is the year they execute the solution. You think this is just about robots and ChatGPT? You think this is just about economics? That's cute. That's what they want you to think. But that's just the surface. What I'm about to show you in the next section ties this directly to an event that happened over 50 years ago, the collapse of the Bretton Woods system and the Nixon shock. You won't believe the connections between the death of the gold standard and the birth of the data standard coming in 2026. It is the exact same playbook, written by the exact same bloodlines. Before we go deeper, hit the like button if you think the news lies to you every day. Do it now, because the algorithm tries to bury this kind of truth. Let's force it to the surface. Welcome to the deep end. Let's talk about the machine itself. The conspiracy of 2026 isn't one single event, it's a convergence. A polycrisis engineered to force a transition. We need to talk about the trinity of control, the mind, the body, and the ledger. The mind is AGI, the body is robotics, and the ledger is the central bank digital currency. Evidence Stacker 1, the mind. In 2025, we stopped seeing chatbots and started seeing agents. Did you notice the shift? OpenAI, DeepMind, Anthropic, they stopped talking about search and started talking about action. The O1 and Q-Star leaks weren't hype, they were warnings. They have created software that can reason, plan, and execute tasks without human intervention. In 2025, they beta tested this in the corporate back offices. In 2026, they unleash it on the white-collar world. The lawyer, the coder, the accountant. You aren't being replaced by a tool, you are being replaced by a digital species that doesn't sleep or unionize. Evidence Stacker 2, the pattern recognition hack. Look at the pattern, it is undeniable once you see it. They did it with the enclosure movement in the 1700s. They fenced off the common land to force peasants into the factories. They did it with the Patriot Act in 2001. They utilized a crisis to strip away privacy for security. And now they are doing it with digital ID and AI in 2025. The thread tying them all together is dispossession. They take what is yours, your land, your privacy, your utility, and sell it back as a subscription service. 2026, the year subscription becomes mandatory. How do they enforce this? The third point of the triangle, the ledger. While you watch the AI show, the financial plumbing was replaced. Project Enbridge, the Regulated Liability Network, FedNow. In 2025, trial balloons for programmable money were floated. They called them tokens or stablecoins, but the infrastructure is now laid for a central bank digital currency that is fully programmable. Imagine a world where your universal basic income can only be spent within a 5-mile radius of your designated smart city zone. Imagine money that expires if you don't spend it within 30 days. That isn't money. That is a voucher system for a prison colony. Why go to these lengths? Is it just greed? No. This is about management. Yuval Noah Harari warned of the rise of the useless class. What do the shepherds do when they have too many sheep and not enough grass? In the 21st century, you don't use bullets, you use irrelevance. You put the population in a digital Skinner box, the metaverse, the dopamine loop, and let the AI run the real world. 2025 was the year they finished the box. 2026 is when they lock the door. So, what does 2026 look like for you? It starts with hyper-reality. The internet, as you know it, dies. It becomes flooded with so much AI-generated noise, deepfakes and synthetic media that you will not be able to trust your eyes or ears. This is called the dead internet theory, realized. You will retreat into verified communities, digital ghettos where you have to scan your biometric ID just to comment on a video. The anonymity of the web is over. Economically, we will see the bifurcation. The owners of the AI and the capital will see wealth explode into the trillions. The rest? A slow, grinding descent into dependency. The middle class is a historical anomaly, and 2026 is the year it reverts to the mean, lords and serfs. Remember this document I showed you at the start, the one dated January 2026? It's not a government law. It's a patent filing. It's the framework for tying your digital wallet to your carbon footprint and your social media behavior. It's the ultimate control grid, and the implementation date wasn't a prediction, it was a deadline, and they met it. 2025 was the last year you had the luxury of pretending the world was normal. The training wheels are off. The veil is torn. The conspiracy isn't hidden anymore. It's open source. They are betting that you are too distracted, too tired, and too addicted to do anything about it. Prove them wrong. I want you to go to the comments right now and write one word: resist. Signal to the algorithm that you are awake. Share this video with the one person you know who is sensing the shift, but can't put it into words. We are building a lifeboat for the mind. Subscribe to join the resistance. The old world is gone. We have to survive the new one.